Welcome to Steve's Vintage Model Builds. I'm Steve, and thanks for joining me. Alright, so today we've got a kit review, and it's actually a bit of a redo, pardon the rhyme, a redo review. So it's an unboxing but not an unsealing, and the reason for that is that I got this back in the fall. My wife got it for me for my birthday, and I reviewed it as part of my 100 subscribers celebration, but back at that time I was having a lot of sound problems with the channel, and so the audio didn't come across very good at all. So I'm going to redo it with the good audio. If it upsets you that it's already actually been opened, well then I guess you can go back and watch the other one. It's right there on my channel. I'll leave it up. But for today, I wanted to show it off. I've only seen one or two actual reviews of the 47A by Trumpeter, and so that's why I thought I'd do it again as a standalone. To be honest with you, when my wife gave this to me for my birthday and I saw it was a Trumpeter kit, my heart kind of sank. I just, first of all, I'm a Tamiya guy to start with, and I'd heard some not good things about Trumpeter. Everything from problems with fit to problems with the instructions. And so, anyways, but, she took the time to go talk to Matt at our local hobby shop, NRC Hobbies, here in Nanaimo. And so, and he suggested she get me this. So, $29.99 plus tax, Canadian. For the Brits watching, I guess that's probably about 20 pounds, something like that. Maybe even a little less. It's 1/72 scale. And they give you some nice information on the box here. It says model brief, main rotor diameter 250.7 millimeters. So that's handy to know how wide it's going to be out of the box. Overall length, rotors turning 412 millimeters. Total plastic parts 140 plus pieces, so it's a substantial kit. Total sprues of 5 pieces. Nice box art. Don't see a signature, but it doesn't look CGI. And this is Vietnam era Chinook. And we've got here detailed scale kit for adult collectors to assemble. Actual model may vary from image on the box, blah, blah, blah. Warning, not for children 3 years, under 3 years due to small parts. And on the side here, we have a nice profile picture of the completed kit, all painted up. And here we have 3 other profiles as well. So, and on the side here, it reads, the Ch-47A Chinook, the workhorse of the U.S. Army, is manufactured by the Boeing Vertol Company. The Chinook has served as the prime mover for the U.S. Army and other military forces for decades. Its principal missions include transport of troops, artillery, ammunition, fuel, water, barrier materials, supplies, and equipment on the battlefield. Other missions include medical evacuation, aircraft recovery, firefighting, parachute drops, heavy construction, disaster relief, and search and rescue. In other words, it does pretty much anything, except fly faster than the speed of sound. The effectiveness of the Chinook has been continually upgraded by successive product improvements, from the Ch-47A to Ch-47D. Continuous product improvements have more than doubled the Chinook's lift capacity since its inception. Real-life rotor diameter 59 feet 1 inch. Fuselage length 51 feet, height 18 feet 8 inches, empty weight 23,149 pounds. It's powered by two Lycoming T55 L7 turboshaft engines with 2,650 horsepower each. Maximum weight 38,550 pounds. Maximum speed 144 miles per hour. Ceiling of 9,000 feet. Range 1,250 miles. So not only can it do almost anything, it can go very far without needing to refuel. Another interesting thing about this is if you look at the design, this will actually float. That makes it very handy for maritime search and rescue, as well as Navy SEAL operations and things like that, where it can set itself down on the water, put out some boats, and off you go. So, the box was never sealed in plastic. It was just taped shut. And so, here we go. Alright, so the top is off. Nice sturdy top opening box. Reinforced at the corners. I'll set aside the instructions. And we have a separate sprue bag here for the engines. They're very nicely detailed. You can see the grating and venting here. Not with my camera, but it's there. No flash. We also have a separate bag of the front clear part, and the part that needs to be painted here is frosted over, so that'll take the paint much easier. I haven't opened this yet, but you know what I'm talking about. If you ever try to paint just the plain plastic, forget it. It's just going to be, unless you want something, a streaky effect, forget it. So that's very nice. And we have one sprue bag here. I already took this off because I'm getting ready to build this. There's no figures, but we get very nicely detailed seats, wheels, control panels. There's even a little fire extinguisher here. I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful detail. Various different hooks and sensors. Lovely. Show you this. There's the floor. Nicely detailed. You can see the floorboards. The little whatever you call those things that you hook the lines into. I'll come up with the word probably as soon as I finish the video. Okay, so here we go. And look at this. We've got two metal pieces for the rotors, and the clear pieces for the windows. And these clear pieces they're perfect, absolutely perfect. There's no no distortion, no scratches. They're just perfect. And here we have, here we have the rotors. You can do it with the rear door up or down. Again, I'm not seeing any flash whatsoever. The detailed control panels, engine covers, tiny bit of flash here. This is very nice. They've pre-warped the rotors, so because they sag when the aircraft is at rest. So that's a very nice detail. Okay, and yeah, we got this. I took this piece off. This goes underneath, under the nose. Like I said, I'm getting ready to build. And here it's just very nice here. This is what they've done with the fuselage. And again, it's beautifully detailed. All sorts of panel lines, vents. Obviously, this was done to protect the pieces very well. Do a quick dry fit. Looks perfect. Tiny bit of flash seams on the bottom here. Otherwise, perfect. Beautiful. And these also support the top sprue, so it doesn't squish down on the, or this goes here. Sorry, this goes on the bottom, making a mess of it. That goes on the bottom, that goes on top, that goes there. And so, okay, so we've got a nice decal set. My only little disappointment, I haven't opened this either, but my only disappointment is they didn't do a U.S. Marines scheme. But there are 2 U.S. Army schemes. And you've got the stars and, yeah, all the little doodads, and there's decals here for the control panels. Very nice. I don't know who makes the Trumpeter decals, but they feel kind of thick even through the plastic here, but that's okay. Okay, and so here we go. They provide this lovely insert, beautiful insert, painting and marking. All of their they recommend the Mr. Hobby, Mr. colors. Obviously, there's not a lot. There's yellow, flat black, and olive drab. And they've got two different decaling schemes. Okay, so on the outside of the box, they say not recommended for children under 14. I don't know, a 14-year-old could do this kit probably, certainly with supervision. and probably a 10 or 12-year-old could do it with help, especially if they've done model kits before. So we got the usual read before assembly. Not recommended for inexperienced modelers. Study and understand the instructions. No photo etch parts here. Extra care handling the photo, blah blah. Gives you recommended tools. And their legend, CA glue, filer sand, weight the part, option, make a hole, no cement, cutter remove, decal, bend. They only indicate gluing with the CA glue. I guess that's super glue. Otherwise, it's just an arrow, to glue it or cement it. Okay, and so here we've got a nice sprue map. Left fuselage, right fuselage, the canopy, the shafts. Gives you everything. And these rotors are very nicely detailed as well. Alright, so as always, I'll put up a card for how I rate a kit. I use a 12-point system, 10 standard points, 2 points for packaging, 2 points for sprues, 3 points for parts, 3 points for instructions. Each category has up to a quarter-point bonus for any wow factors, and an additional up to 1 full point for value. And when I look at value, I look at the cost of the kit versus how many hours of enjoyment I can expect to get out of it. Excuse me. Okay, and but a couple other things, little bits of trivia about the Chinook. Chinook's a Native American word, Native American, Native Canadian, Native North American, whatever way you want to put it. There's a Chinook tribe in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Of course, Chinook salmon are famous worldwide. And in Canada, the Chinook is a Native Canadian word that means warm wind. And it's a wind that comes down on the east side of the Rockies in late winter, early spring, but it can also come down at any time. And in the Calgary area, and it's not uncommon for them to get down to 30, 40 below with winds. There's not much stopping the wind coming down from the North Pole, and it just barrels right down. So so when the Chinook does come, whenever it comes, it's very welcome, and everybody goes outside and plays and really enjoys a little break of warmth. So, but I think it was named after the Northwest U.S. tribe, the Chinook. Because who would name a helicopter a salmon after a salmon, even though it floats? Who would do that? Anyways. Okay, so here we go. All right, so the packaging was beautiful, great sturdy box. No shipping packaging because it came from Matt's Hobby Shop. But a quarter point for the way it was packed. Those supports inside, and everything just nestled in perfectly. So 2 1/4 there. The sprues, everything was complete. There was hardly any flash. No molding, bubbles, holes, nubs, recesses, ejection pin marks where they don't belong. So again, 2 1/4 for that. Sorry, yeah, 2 1/4 for that. Quarter bonus for no flash and so forth. And then 3 points for the 3 points for the parts. The quality of the plastic was good, nicely detailed. There were no warped or broken parts. Decals looked sufficient and adequate. I'm not going to ding them because there's no U.S. Marine stuff. I'll see what I can do to find something else that'll go along with that. And then for the instructions, 3 full points. It wasn't extensive, but they did a nice job with the general service and history notes. The instructions are very clear. The instructions themselves are in black and white, but the paint and decaling insert is in color. So, you know, that's another quarter point there, bonus. So 3 1/4 there, and I'm going to give it 3/4 of a point for value. I mean, for $30, even though the paint scheme's going to be pretty basic, there's still a lot you can do with it, and it's gonna take a good few hours to assemble it properly, with very little frustration, I expect. So that brings us to 11 and a half. And I think that's the highest rating I've ever given. 11 and a half out of 12. And not just because it was a birthday present from my wife. I gave an 11 to the Academy New Bedford Whaler. It got a full point for value. And I'd encourage you to check out the review video on that. I did it on I did a live chat on it, and a bunch of my UK buddies joined in, and they were very impressed, as was I, for such a little kit. Really punching above its weight there. Okay, so that's it. A little shorter than usual, but even though there's a lot of parts, it's not a very complicated kit. And, that's why I say, 14 years old, yeah. I think an 11 or 12-year-old would be able to tackle this, especially with some supervision. And so that's it for this review. Going to have a few updates coming shortly. I've actually started the New Bedford Whaler, and I've completed the Airfix Vintage Classics 176 88mm gun and tractor, half track, and that's going into a diorama. So I expect I'll be showing those off both together. And I've also started a little Academy 172 Sopwith Camel. Just a little kit, only costs $13, $14. I did do a review on it, but yeah, just a tiny little thing. More for just practice of painting and ideas and things like that. So so those things will be coming up shortly. Also got a couple more kit reviews and a very special ICM kit that was sent to me by a friend of the channel. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. Up to 320 subscribers as of January 18th, and I appreciate everyone's time. It's all valuable, and I appreciate people either watching all of my videos or at least spending a little bit of time checking them out. And I hope they find the information valuable and interesting. Always a shout out to our buddy Terry down there at Hobby Barn. Hope you're doing all right, Terry. I know things aren't going very good for you health-wise, So I hope you're hanging in there. All right, so thanks again, and have a great day, everybody.